Am I the asshole? For telling my kid's teacher I wasn't upfront because she and her son are gossipers? My son Dawson is in the 6th grade and has been rather anxious. He has to give a victim impact statement and has been preparing for it all this week. He's trying to keep it together and has been sleeping in my bed all those months. He has an oral report due on Friday for his social studies class and obviously he can't do it because he has to be in court. I spoke to his teacher, Mrs. T, and said he has an appointment on Friday that he can't miss and if he could possibly do this report on Monday. She asked why can't he do it on Thursday. I said that was a totally fair question but there's something going on with him and he's emotionally distraught. I don't want him breaking down in class and being made fun of. She said there was no good excuse to punt an oral exam because Dawson has the jitters. I said it's way more than that. She said he can give his oral report Thursday or Friday or take a 0. I said I understand and he'll take a 0. Your class isn't important in the grand scheme of things anyways. My son's emotional health is way more important. She was surprised that I said to give him a 0 because I'm a very involved dad. She told me to be upfront with her about what was going on and I said I'm not telling you anymore. Later I got a call from the vice principal who said that I had a hostile conversation with Mrs. T and requested that she give my son a 0. I said that's not really accurate. I told him off the record that my son has to give a victim impact statement on Friday. He's a mess. He quickly said by all means let him stay home tomorrow and Friday. He'd work something out with his teachers. I said I do not want anyone knowing his business. He assured me he wouldn't give any reason. I got an email from Mrs. T who said she wished that I had been more open about what was going on because she cares about Dawson. She's worried about him now. I responded that I didn't tell her details because you and especially your son he's in the same grade as Dawson are gossip queens and I don't trust you. She told me that what I said was very hurtful. I said then don't ask and don't fish for information. Edit: the VP did not disclose why my son is out tomorrow and Friday. He said it was an approved absence and to send makeup work home today. Only Blabbermouth responded and fished for details after getting the email. Not the asshole teacher was digging into your personal life then she tried to weaponize your kid's grade. If you trust the principal too enough to say that he didn't tell her your reasons, then she went out of her way to find something you were trying to keep private, a small group of people. She should have just lived with it, something serious, but we don't want to get into the details right now. Not the asshole. You should report this additional conversation to the VP, and explain why you were not comfortable sharing further information with this teacher. She should not be messaging you about her feelings. She's unprofessional. He's emotionally distraught and has an appointment he can't miss is plenty of detail for the teacher. She doesn't need more than that. Her behavior is unacceptable even without the blabbermouth context. Not the asshole. If she cared about Dawson like she claimed, she would have taken your word at face value that there were outside issues impacting his emotional health. She is his teacher, she's owed knowing when assignments or tests will not be completed, but she is not always owed the why unless it impacts the full function of her class or her safety. Forward the email to the vice principal and the principal. The way this teacher is acting needs to be addressed. Mrs. T is the type of teacher to claim she knows your child better than you. Her behavior is not going to get better. She may say things that cause her son to treat your son poorly. You need to bring your concerns of gossip and retaliation to the principal. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You are a superstar for your child. Excellent job parenting. This nosy Nelly can pound sand. Not the asshole. It might feels a bit rude that you are not sharing the information when the teacher asks you, but you are by no obligation even if she wasn't gossip, especially when you have shared it with the principal and they are aware. This is indeed something that is not something she needs to know. Especially when you have expressed several times you don't want to give a report. Not the asshole, and I would even more blunt with the teacher. I don't trust you with his private information. You do not know how to keep private information confidential, and I have no trust you would maintain his safety or privacy. Not the asshole, but the teacher sure is. Why does the teacher feel entitled to so much info? Hearing from the child's parent that their kid has a conflict should have been enough. I can see why you don't